The dream of the big polygamist family's just shot.
I'm not going to be friendly. I don't really miss him. Let's just separate this completely.
They have all betrayed me.
He is sabotaging our relationship.
I'm out of my mind.
I've seen this coming for a long time.
It's really a mess.
I feel like the idiot that got left behind.
No one betrayed him. He betrayed his first 3 wives and their children. He changed and abandoned his role as a father because his grown children were no longer under his control. I believe Robyn always enjoyed the competition of being the favorite wife. If she feels any sadness now, it's likely because she misses the thrill of the competition and the game itself. No one betrayed him. He betrayed his first 3 wives and their children. He changed and abandoned his role as a father because his grown children were no longer under his control. This, ladies and gentlemen, highlights the problem with polygamy. Kody thought he had everything under control. When you leave a polygamous community, your wives start to see and experience the outside world, opening up new possibilities for them. Polygamy was never a sacred religious practice. It was invented by a self-proclaimed prophet who sought to fulfill his own fantasies and claimed them as divinely ordained by God. Kody thought he could do the same. Oh please, Robyn feels like a fool because her scheme to become the favorite wife and rely on the income from the other wives backfired. Now, with the other wives happy and thriving on their own, all she has is Kody without the financial support of the others. Robyn and Kody deserve each other. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Nexus X. It's me, Elena, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. However, I just saw this clip on FB. Great timing, lol. Gwen was asked if number 4 was upset about Christine, Janelle, and Meri leaving because they wouldn't be contributing to the family fund anymore. Someone off camera suggested that number 4 should sell one of the paintings if she needs money for her kids, and Gwen commented on how tacky the art is. Gwen is totally on our side. I doubt she's the only one in the family who feels that way. She's probably discussed it with her siblings and maybe even her mothers. They've likely had a good laugh at the tacky figurines and paintings while being frustrated about the wasted family money. I don't understand why people think the family doesn't know about the art. It's clearly not a secret. Gwen didn't seem angry. She was more making fun of Kody and number 4 for spending money on such unattractive things. Additionally, do you think the McMansion will sell for the asking price of $1.65 million, considering it hasn't attracted much interest during the pocket listing and since going public? With a TikTok creator filming the inside and highlighting some of the home's issues, it definitely makes the property less appealing. It would be amusing if Kody had to lower the price to sell it. There's no way that home is worth $1.65 million given the amount of work it needs. I think it will linger on the market like the Vegas houses. They should watch that TikTok and address some issues. Also, they should remove some of the artwork. It's too cluttered. They probably won't fix anything. If potential buyers are warned not to lean on the railing because it might fall, and if the tile work is still poorly done, it's a lost cause. They should at least fix the tile grout. The two of them are clueless. Yes, Robyn admitted she was left with a mess, but now she's just facing the consequences of their actions. Moreover, in Season 4, Episode 1, Christine makes some remarks in the photos, then it cuts to Kody, who says, "Christine's very different than she used to be." You know, when dealing with family and marriage counseling and things like that, you have to learn to own your stuff. Then it cuts to Christine. I feel like as a person, as an individual, I'm doing fine, you know, working on things. There's no way Christine was moving into one big house. She was checked out in Season 4. I really hope Christine writes a book someday. I think there will be a lot of books written once the show is off the air. Christine immediately noticed how Kody was responding to Robyn and understood what a relationship should look like when both people are truly into each other. I don't believe Christine was checked out. Kody was checked out first. Christine just vocalized that realization. The hurt in her voice was palpable. I don't think they were in a good place when she was pregnant with Truly to begin with. Once Robyn came into the picture, Kody realized he had much stronger feelings for her than for the other wives and lost interest in working on his other relationships. The only reason Janelle lasted longer is because she didn't want a full-time husband and knew not to make many demands of Kody. She had almost all the male children, and I think Kody revered her more for it, until her boys were overshadowed by Robyn and her children during the coronavirus period. On the other hand, does anyone else feel frustrated, especially as a parent, with Kody's hesitation about surgery? It's infuriating that he seems more concerned with Isabel's appearance or belittles her for not doing the exercises. Those exercises are often ineffective, and surgery becomes necessary eventually. They waited far too long for her to get it. It's heartbreaking that she had to endure so much pain before they took action. And let's not forget he even considered sending her for surgery alone at one point. It's absolutely disgusting and despicable. Both Kody and Christine are at fault, but Kody is far more responsible. I recently had a spinal fusion, which is similar to what Isabel underwent. I had benign masses in my spinal cord and now have hardware in my spine. It was a truly agonizing experience. I can't imagine making her wait for relief while she was in daily pain. On top of that, Kody didn't cover any of the expenses. Christine had to pay for it and take care of her alone. His lack of support during such a horrific time is unforgivable. He clearly doesn't care about his children and shows a profound lack of empathy. I understand the caution around surgery until all non-invasive options have been tried. It is a major and painful procedure. However, once doctors indicate that surgery is necessary, it should be pursued. I also wouldn't let a chiropractor near my child with scoliosis. However, does anyone really believe that these two are selling their ugly duckling house to buy a larger one? They didn't have the financial resources to maintain the money pit they currently own. Once their funds run out, Robyn will likely be out of there. Those two have drained everyone in the family both financially and emotionally. In my opinion, no. They probably realize they won't be able to keep up with the mortgage payments and property taxes on the McMansion, as well as the property taxes on the Coyote Pass lots now that their paychecks from the show are winding down. The McMansion might be easier to sell quickly, while Coyote Pass is tied to the show's storyline and might need to stay off the market until season 19 is finished, just my speculation. If the realtor mentioned that Kody and Robyn are moving to a bigger place, I wouldn't put much stock in that claim. If they said that the sellers were broke and needed cash, it would suggest to potential buyers that they could make much lower offers because the sellers are desperate. When we bought our house, we were informed that the sellers were going through a divorce and needed to sell quickly. That gave us leverage, but that was over 25 years ago. The realtor is unlikely to disclose to potential buyers that the sellers need to sell because they can't afford it anymore, especially given who the owners are. Additionally, when Robyn came into the picture, she represented exactly what Kody felt he deserved. She allowed him to be the big, tough protector and provider, the savior. The original 3 wives were with him through thick and thin, building their lives together. Robyn didn't experience that part of him, when he was just another person struggling to make it work. She feeds into his ego and makes him feel important, countering the feelings of inferiority he had from his childhood and early marriage. With Robyn, he gets to see himself as a hero. Ultimately, it's less about her and more about how she makes him feel about himself. As for Robyn, it's hard to analyze her fully because she has deliberately kept herself mysterious. However, I do believe she genuinely fell in love with Kody. When he focused on her, he made her feel special. Being a salesman, he's used to being the center of attention. Robyn seems to have had experiences of feeling unseen in her childhood, as shown in her book, and she might also appreciate Kody's seemingly broad vocabulary. She appears to surround herself with things and people that make her feel valued. It's difficult to imagine that she's still in love with him, knowing the difficulties involved. Perhaps he is still in love with her and hasn't yet become a nightmare for her. It's hard to believe she'll stay for the rest of her life. Kody and the original 3 wives were around the same age when they married and grew into adulthood together. While the original 3 continued to evolve, Kody seems stuck in his development. He needed a younger, less mature partner to feel superior. It's good that the original 3 have moved on. Has anyone considered that Kody might not have known what real love was until he met Robyn? He was likely caught up in religious ideals and youthful lust, believing that love was something only found in fairy tales. As for why he fell for someone like Robyn, who many view as unappealing and deceptive, it's hard to say. Both seem to be cons who live off others' money without showing any respect to those who supported them. It's laughable how easy it would have been for Robyn and Kody to show some consideration to the others, which might have allowed their scheme to continue. They got too comfortable and assumed it would last forever. Moreover, it's really striking how much Kody's demeanor changes at the end of Season 14 and throughout Season 15. He comes across as frustrated and negative in his confessionals, which contrasts sharply with earlier seasons. This shift seems to go beyond just the challenges posed by coronavirus 19. One major factor is likely the reality of not getting the big financial payoff he expected. The Las Vegas houses didn't sell as quickly or profitably as he hoped, and the Flagstaff property turned out to be much more expensive. His lack of experience in real estate and development led to costly missteps, such as the Prairie Plague Pond deal, which turned out to be more problematic and expensive than anticipated. The funds wasted on rentals and his unrealistic expectations contributed to the financial strain. This sense of failure and the burden of unmet expectations seem to have taken a toll on him. Another significant factor is his living situation with Robyn. It appears that Kody was overwhelmed by the constant demands and negativity from Robyn and her children. Unlike the original 3 wives and their children, who were working and contributing, Robyn's older kids were still dependent on him financially. Robyn herself didn't contribute financially and seemed to take more than her share. This created a stark contrast to the supportive and contributing environment he had with the original 3 wives and their children. The energy drain from Robyn and her family, combined with the lack of financial and emotional support, contributed to Kody's negative outlook and deteriorating relationships. He was no longer surrounded by the positivity and support he once had, which made the situation at Robyn's home feel even more draining. Overall, the combination of financial setbacks, a demanding and non-contributing household, and the loss of support from the original 3 wives and their children led to a dramatic shift in Kody's attitude and appearance during this period. On the other hand, it's interesting to consider why Meri might be closing her B&B for an indefinite period. It's possible she's doing it to have a place to live full-time, especially if the B&B isn't generating significant income. Events might be where she sees most of her revenue. If she's planning to use this period to prepare financial records for a potential lawsuit, that could be a factor, but she might not be doing it solely for asset-related reasons. Her financial situation might be tied to other revenue streams that are more lucrative. With TLC paying the family individually now rather than as a single check, her financial landscape could be shifting as well. However, it's understandable to feel frustrated with how frequently the catfish storyline was featured, especially if it feels repetitive or overly dramatic. Reality TV often amplifies certain narratives to maintain viewer interest, and it sounds like that's what TLC did with Meri's situation. Kody's dissatisfaction with Meri and the catfish drama seems to have been a recurring theme, which likely contributed to the show's focus on it. Reality TV thrives on conflict and emotional moments, so highlighting Meri's struggles and her reactions might have been a strategy to keep the audience engaged. It sounds like you're in for more revelations in Season 18, especially with Christine's insights about Kody's past feelings toward Meri. It's a testament to how reality TV can weave ongoing storylines to keep viewers hooked, even if the drama gets repetitive or overemphasized. Additionally, it does seem like there might be some strategic financial moves happening with the McMansion and the way Kody is managing his money. The idea of funneling funds into property to shield them from being divided in a potential split is an interesting one, though it's complicated by the specifics of polygamous marriages and legal definitions. Regarding the tender comment, it sounds like Kody might be using his own terms or justifications to explain his behavior, which can come off as confusing or insincere. It's not uncommon for people in high-stress situations to create or adapt language to fit their emotions or actions, but it can definitely add to the frustration when it feels like an excuse for behavior that seems unjustifiable. Moreover, it's definitely frustrating to see the contradictions in Kody's stance, especially when his business activities might contribute to the very issues he's concerned about. His support for events that can potentially lead to safety issues, combined with the way decisions about Koyo Pass seem to favor Robyn's preferences, adds another layer of complexity to their situation. As for the sale of the house, it raises questions about the plans for the older kids and the overall strategy moving forward. It could be that they're adjusting their living arrangements to align with new circumstances or needs, but without more details, it's hard to say exactly what their next move will be. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for future updates. Your feedback is important, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.